Hey guys, Coach Ben here, and you are listening to the BenchCast. I'm here with Small Arm Leg Strong. Elvis, what do you think about throwing some intro music on there? You think we can make that happen?
I think you still gotta ask Jim for that intro.
I feel like everyone is expecting something, and then they just get me, and it's a total letdown. So I feel like we gotta have some kind of music on the intro.
I'm gonna have some badass, boxing introduction.
Everyone should check out Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. He had a more badass intro before. I think it kind of went soft now. Probably went PG. But he had a really badass intro. Joe DeFranco, he has a badass intro. If we're talking podcast intros, I love his.
I really like.
It amps you up.
I like Jocko's intro. The Jocko podcast.
I have not listened to that one.
Badass.
See, that's what we need. We need something that screams badass. Because you just get me, and it's horrible. It's like, oh, it's Coach Ben again. We're talking social media and lifting.
And we could jump right in with these comments.
We got plenty of comments. So I gave, we're on Instagram Live. For those listening to the podcast, we go on Instagram Live. And we asked the viewers some questions and stuff. And I asked everyone to post up their favorite social media platform, how they use it for lifting, why it's their favorite. So we want to just jump into some comments real quick?
Yep, most people like the Instagram because they're watching on the Instagram. Tommy Matthews, Instagram because it's short and sweet. Lets you do a picture or a video. Helps so much you get to switch up the content.
Oh, yeah, different content. Well, I guess you could do the same with Twitter and Facebook, but it's different. It's just capped.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's capped. It's quick. I like the scrolling of it. Instagram, great scrolling. I mean, for business purposes, it's all on Instagram for me mostly. I try to do some more exclusive content to Facebook, but just ease of use, Instagram. I just like how that platform's set up. But I definitely know what he's saying. Quick content. So you could post. I'm glad they went from 15 to a minute though.
Yeah, that was
on those
big.
videos. That was key because you still get a clip, but it's longer. You need that.
Took down Vine, but
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Facebook has Instagram, right?
Yep.
So they're just gonna take over everything. It's just a matter of time, and then Amazon's gonna get them, and Amazon's gonna rule the world. I'm telling you, fella, if 20 years from now, it's gonna be a really weird place. But I agree with Tommy. Instagram probably my favorite. Just easy use. Love scrolling. I love how we scroll through that real easy, real simple. Like you're getting a picture, a video in your face. Easy to comment and communicate. That's a big thing with some apps. Is communication's not up to par. I love Facebook because you got the tagging feature, the name lights up and stuff. It's really easy just to have little convos within convos. And I guess that's the same too with Instagram. It's kind of the same way. So, and the direct messaging, whatever you're on, has to have direct messaging.
Come on. Now, especially now.
That's why I don't like this snap face. How does anyone find you on Snapchat?
Snapchat has direct messaging. It's all it is. It's all just direct messages.
Oh. Well, how the hell do people find you on Snapface? There's nothing you can search, right?
You can find your friends. You can link to your phone. Their phone numbers are linked up to their Snapchat.
How are people finding you? Instagram, you can search hashtags.
So, with Snapchat, I feel like you have to already have a large friend base or anything because it's more personal. It's like friends or friends of friends that you find on there. Oh, right. I don't follow any celebrities on my Snapchat. It's all Instagram.
Well, I read Gary Vee's book about growing social media platforms and whatnot, and I'm just puzzled and completely baffled by how someone can ever grow a business on Snapface because there's no way to find people.
I don't
understand that. I don't either. I hate Snapface, guys. I think it's dumb. So I'd rather post something up on the gram.
I like what Tommy said. Sometimes it's a quick fix that changes movements on Instagram because you're limited to a minute. So you kind of just force all the information that you need in that minute.
Oh, that's true. Yep. That's a little bit of a pain in the ass because it's not like I'm clipping and piecing a bunch of stuff together.
It's harder for the creator, but it's better for the user.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. It's great if you're a user, you're getting a lot. But you know what it forces me to do when I am posting up? I have to really look through the entirety of the video and be like, all right, what minute-long piece of this clip is the most action-packed and informational? So, usually near the end of the videos, I'll recap kind of what I said, And that's when I'm kind of thinking, all right, for the gram purposes, now I'm going to cover everything in a very short period, recap it all. So it does force me to kind to, be real selective with what I put up. And you get a lot of creativity with it. So yesterday, I was talking with Tommy Matthews, who's helped me a lot with, a lot of the business sides of things with Sheets, Google Sheets, and all this other stuff. And I couldn't figure out the frickin' Instagram story because my app is definitely busted. It's not just me. My app doesn't have it.
Android's just slow on that update.
So I was trying to, you know how you post up the questions now on the story? And I'm trying to answer these things. And it's great. We got them rolling in. I'm trying to do a video format, or at least take a picture, put something in the background. But I can't do that. And it's frustrating shit on me. It takes me like an hour before I start reaching out and not trying to do it myself because I don't know what the hell's going on. But I couldn't do it, so I had to get creative and forced you to do some cool creations. I did. I figured out how to use those little GIFs, post those little GIFs up. Did some Queen Latifah looking girl. She was like, "Oh yes," but I found some of that. And I do a little signature thing because now I got the Note 8 guys. I get the little stylus to it. Helps a lot with the online coaching. But I did a little signature. I created a little signature thing. Did a couple B's for Bench and Benny. And I thought it was pretty cool. So it worked out in the end.
I have one beef with Instagram, which makes it my not favorite platform. Because I follow a lot of physical therapists, follow a lot of educational, learning things.
Yeah, me too.
There's no search function within someone's profile. You can't search for a keyword or anything. If I'm having issues, say, with hip internal rotation, I can't
get to it.
Yeah, I can't search unless they already made a pre-selected filter of these are all the posts that I did on this. So that's my only beef. That's why I like YouTube a little better.
Okay. Yeah, YouTube. That's great. Because YouTube, I'll use it all the time. I'll search Big Benchas and what the topic's about, and it brings up all those videos that we've done on the subject.
And there's so many people who make playlists on YouTube. You can't do that on Instagram. You can't make a whole collection of all these physical therapists or strength trainers on a certain subject with different profiles or anything.
Yeah, subscribing and stuff. You could click the link post thing, but that only tells you when the things come up.
It's just not the same.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder if they'll think about adding a feature like that.
If there's 5 different people who all have a post on one topic, I can't look through just a feed of just that one topic. That's my beef.
Have you delved into the IGTV at all?
I don't know, man. That seems a little whack to me.
It seems to me like it's just a way to put up longer videos.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't think they're going to be able to compete with YouTube in any fashion unless they change a lot of things. YouTube is still the king of video content. And if you guys haven't checked out our YouTube, I tell you, you want to get a better bench. I know a lot of people always tell me they're up studying our stuff frequently. There's a lot to watch there. We're talking over 2 years now on the regular, at least a couple posts a week. So there's a lot up there. Even the old stuff is great. And sometimes I'll go through the old stuff when we first started making videos just to get ideas for more videos and kind of rehash it in different light. Because, of course, I'm learning over the years just as, things are changing. I'm learning. I send it out in different ways.
You have better ways to just describe it.
Yeah. So, YouTube's huge. If you guys want to learn, probably the best bang for your buck is to get on YouTube and watch all our content there. That'll get you right. So, lifters now use social media all the time. Have we got any more comments, by the way?
Not so much.
I don't want to skip through anything. Okay.
The biggest thing with using social media and lifting is that if you're a powerlifter or strongman, I guess, if you hit a PR and you don't do that in meet or HD video, then I don't think it really counts.
Yeah.
I think that's
no
the motto.
Video, that's the whole thing. If there's no video, it didn't count.
Nope.
But as I was kind of going into the new age of lifters, a lot of video stuff. And it's kind of annoying, especially in a small group setting, such as we had at the gym, when everyone's got to film every single thing. So the rule kind of became, and I think it's kind of this unwritten rule now that you film your top set. Especially if you're in a group like that, you're trying to go through it. You film your top set, and I think that's. I think they even do that at Westside because I see videos at Westside. So they're not all balls out, put your phone down, and bleed everywhere. You know, so I think that's kind of the thing now. You film your top set, and then you can post that up. But you ain't going and filming everything. I do think it's a great tool, though, for viewing your technique, and which how I use it a lot with the online coaching. My lifters film. I tell them film everything you can, even accessories you're not sure of, and post it up so I can take a look at it. So oftentimes you could just get one. We got the Gorilla Pod going right now. Fantastic thing. When you told me about it, I was like, oh, another one of these cheap China things. But this thing is awesome. The Gorilla Pod holds up. You can attach it to anything. Little screws so it keeps the phone tight. And that thing's been awesome. I tell all my online clients to try to grab one of these things, put them up anywhere, get different angles. They're awesome.
Man, I wish I had an affiliate code because I can't tell you how many of those I sold.
Gorilla Pods?
Yep.
It's just because you have to, because it's so damn good.
It's the best thing. It's
the best
without
thing.
doubt.
Because anything, you're bringing your phone to the gym all the time to film now. So that makes it really easy. So that's kind of the thing, filming in the gym. I don't know if I like that or I don't like that, because part of me is really old school, so I like to just get in. Sometimes I just like to ditch my phone, but then again, there's an opportunity to be had to get some content up so people can see what you're doing and learn from what you're doing. So it's real tricky for me, because I got that old school attitude where I just want to get work in, and it does get very distracting. So I'd be interested.
It does. You're like fiddling with your phone, trying to get every set, you know.
Yeah, and then you post one video up, and then all of a sudden, there's another thing that you gotta see, and then another thing you gotta see, and then there's like a puppy doing something crazy that you gotta see.
I don't know if you've ever been to a commercial gym during like Instagram hour or something, but I feel like everyone has their phone on their floor, like trying to film like their squat or their deadlift. It's just
it's
like walking through a minefield.
Part of me likes it because you can learn a lot from what people are doing. Like, I enjoy just seeing some top lifters train and how they're training. Because back in the day, I remember reading like Arnie coming over from Austria, and he'd have to learn, he'd have to talk to and learn from all these people. He'd have to go and train with them to see how they're training. And I always remember, whether it's the movie Pumping Iron, or if it's in the books, I'd always read how he was kind of picking everyone's mind on how to train and how the U.S. guys are training. And now it's like, if I wanted to see how they're training in Germany, I'll just like look up some German dudes and see what the hell they're doing. Everyone's filming their stuff. So it's very different now compared to what it used to be. And I like that aspect of it. But again, in terms of actually getting good training in, I don't want to have to worry about filming myself while I'm trying to train. I don't like that aspect of it at all. So I'd be interested to hear everyone else's take. If you want to post up some comments there on IG Live, and just let us know your take. Are you into the social media stuff now in the gym? Because a valuable thing to learn from, or are you kind of against it because you're old school, you think it hinders your workout a bit? Interested to hear from you guys.
You know, one thing we said before is like keeping a schedule and like keeping a log of what you're doing at the gym. Mm-hmm. I know some people who use their Instagram not as like try to get more followers, but as a training log.
Yeah,
so they can look it all up. They can like see all the sets and reps. They they go back as far as they started posting.
Yeah, and that's how I'll use it too. I'll look back. That's actually something that I've noted.
I know Wheels did that for a little bit.
Yeah. It's an easy log. Yep. You don't even have to try for that one. But it's interesting to see, going back, how you were lifting, what you were doing. I still enjoy doing that. I'll look back 2 years ago, see what the hell I was doing, and be like, why was I doing that? And all this different stuff. But it's nice, too, in a training cycle before meet. That's usually what I'll do. It's kind of my routine. I'll sit down the night prior to the meet. I'll throw on some good music, and I'll kind of think about the meet the next day, and then I'll go through Instagram kind of as a training log, and I'll look at every lift I had in the training cycle, and obviously I'm only really posting stuff that went well, usually nothing that didn't go well, so it gives me that confidence going into the meet. It's like, wow, look how great that 700 moved off of one board. For example, last Arnie, the bench bash, 700 was the goal, 705. So I look back on the training on Instagram, and I was like, wow, that moved really good on the one board. I think it's gonna move real good tomorrow. I know it. So it gives you that confidence looking back. That's how I kind of use it.
Just a little reassurance.
Yes. Yeah. So it's always great to look back on those training lifts. Breeds confidence. I remember going for my first 500 rep squat long ago, and I did 490 2 weeks before. I remember skipping school that whole day to stay in Long Island to train at the gym. Spent the whole day here eating at various areas, and then I went to squat that night and squatted 490. And just based on how well I moved at, I was like, I'm gonna crush this 500 tomorrow or next week. And lo and behold, I crushed it. But it gave me a lot of confidence seeing how it moved. And I know a lot of guys, they'll film during the training session and they'll take a look right after to see if it was a strength issue, a technique issue, and see what they're going to push for the day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you're going for a 1 rep, say you're going for 500, 480, you film it, doesn't move too well, or it does move well, you're like, all right, maybe I'll take 510. So it's good in that aspect too, in the immediate.
We get a comment from Defender Brian. Personally, no social media browsing during training. We might have a buddy film it for review afterwards.
Okay, so I like that. He doesn't browse.
Doesn't browse.
That's important, and that's what I'll try to do too.
You just get lost in the feed.
Yeah, have someone film it, and that's typically what we'll do. But if you're training alone, now you kind of get caught up looking at it. You just film quick and leave it at that.
One of the things that I do is that I just don't post on my training day. I post the day afterwards.
Oh, the day after.
Yeah,
okay.
So I take the video during my training, I look at it, and then I wait till the day after. Because if I do it that day, I'm so hyped up from lifting, you'll just get like a weird post, like way too excited, way too hyped about it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people should actually take that advice to heart, like right now. Because if you have a bad session, I see some really angry stuff.
Yep.
That is completely unnecessary and makes you look a little crazy. And then I see some really hyped up stuff that makes you look crazy as well.
Yep.
So I think you just got to mellow out for a second because the endorphins are running and let yourself chill.
You got whatever pre-workout you got in you got the endorphins going, you're so hyped that you hit something, or you're so angry that you missed something, and just it all comes out. Get like a 3-paragraph essay going on.
It gets really weird and unnecessary, and I think everyone's got to take that advice. You know, that's something I'll probably start doing too, because I'll do that sometimes. I get a little too hyped about it, and I say some weird shit, and then the next day I'm like, oh, that was kind of weird and dumb.
I was training with a dude at a commercial gym, right? And then so we're just going, we're chilling. He asked me to record one of his sets, and before like I get up to start my next set, it's on the gram already.
Wow.
Yeah, he does not waste no time.
Some people are relentless. They are just on it. Those are the people you want in your business, Elvis.
Yep.
They are on it.
They don't waste no time.
But that's a little excessive. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's probably a huge pet peeve of mine. If you're in a meet, you better not be touching your phone looking at shit. You better not be posting during the meet. I don't even care after, in between lifts. You gotta be eating. You don't have time to post. You gotta be eating. You gotta be getting ready for the next lift.
Eat, lean, sit.
I don't get it at all. I remember the full power days I was doing. The Arnie, for example, I didn't have time to freaking post up stuff on Instagram or nothing. I was excited about what I did, but I didn't have time to do that shit. You have to just stay and focus on the tasks at hand, because the moment you get on your phone and start posting that, you're letting yourself loose, and you're gonna start not caring about the other lifts as much. It's not a good idea. It's a bad idea. Bad idea. It's a huge pet peeve of mine.
So now bringing up social media, just recently went to a Paralympic lifting seminar, and so for them, they have a rule that if you're on the team, you can't post a social media of your competition lift unless you're already at competition. Because what happened one time is that someone did a competition lift, which is the bench press, and I guess his pause wasn't long enough. And one of the actual international judges commented on that post, no good. 3 red lights.
Okay.
And so now when you go to the competition, he's one of the judges. He's going to look at you. He's already got his eye on you. And so you may get judged unfairly. They may get extra scrutiny based on the other lifters.
I can see that. That's interesting. Is that so? What do you mean by team? So like the U.S. team,
Yeah,
national
like
team?
the U.S. actually, like
Alright,
Olympic
so-
training
okay.
team. But it's like if you're in like any like
Because
a tight
unlike
federation, you know.
yeah, unlike unlike the other federations, there the international competition, that's got to be a lot different.
Yeah, it's a lot more strict. I mean,
It's like the Olympics.
I mean, you post a picture with you and Ed Cohen, and you might get banned from a certain federation.
Yeah,
So
I imagine they are super strict because that's legit Olympics.
yeah, that's legit
That's
Olympics. That's
international
like
competition. That's not IPF. Like, that's pretty legit too. But
That's
this is
like
like Olympics.
WADA drug tested. Yeah.
Yes, this is Olympics. So it's a big deal. I mean, that Olympic stuff's a real deal. That's
Yep.
the top. It's the top of the line competing.
But it's like even if you want to go back in the day and pumping iron days, it's like how a little earlier, but Dorian Yates would train in England and all the other competitors would train together, so they know what package they're presenting to the stage, and Dorian Yates just comes in and just shocks everybody because nobody's seen him.
Yeah.
And he's just, it's not social media, but it's being in a social gathering.
That's probably why everyone wears hoodies now and tries to conceal everything.
Hoodies, headphones,
Yeah.
don't talk to anyone.
Which is interesting, the psychology of it.
Yep.
It kind of gets into what I wanted to talk about, how social media affects competition nowadays in that aspect. So you got judges that are able to look at your videos, and they probably know who you are because you're probably on that stage regularly.
Yep.
I'd imagine. On a yearly basis, they're seeing you. You probably talk to them. You probably end up following each other. So that makes sense to me that you wouldn't want to post something because you're going to give them a preconceived notion. That's kind of like how you want to sync your squat opener, nail it so that there's no like you that was
On your
whites.
second attempt, they're not looking at you with
Yes.
extra scrutiny.
If you look shitty on your first, they're gonna be like, all right, this guy was shitty.
Yep.
If you really screw up on your first two, well, that's a really hard hole to fight out of. I just had not too long ago in June, we had one of our lifters multiply, and the first two, for various reasons, didn't go how we would like. And I knew at that point it was going to be a tough mountain to overcome. Depth was good on the next two, but it's tough because now the judges have that preconceived notion, especially if you're multiply, such a huge mountain to overcome because they already have that notion in their head, especially if they're a raw lifter. They're like, multiply guys can't hit depth. So really important competitive-wise to sync the first one. But social media, I can see how that plays a role.
As much as like the judges are supposed to be objective, everyone's a person. Everyone has their own
Now, do
subjectivity.
you think that guy should have said no good?
Listen, I don't want to get into that because with Paralympic bench press, there's no press command. There we go.
No press command?
There's no press
So
command.
it's touch and go?
They take it out. There's a bench command. There's a rack command. There's no press. It has to be a pause, but the pause is subjective.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
It's really interesting.
So no one's calling it out.
No one's calling it up.
So what's the rule on the pause? Like dead stop? Like
It has
normal?
to be a dead stop. Yeah, same thing.
So they're just not getting that call.
They're not getting the press call.
Alright, so it's on them really to make that judgment.
And it's on the judges to judge it.
I understand here.
So things can get like a little weird.
That's interesting. But I guess, I don't know, I'm not sure. There's a lot of weird gray area. I'm not sure if the judge should have said no good. I don't know if that's in his territory. I don't know.
Tommy Matthews also brings up a good point right here. On the Tommy show.
He's active today.
He is active. I've seen people who are a big contender talk about how they got screwed, and that's going to piss off a lot of judges.
Yeah, you know what I don't understand is when someone starts bashing judges, right? They're like friends with the judges, and they're like bashing judges after the meet. Like, how's that going to set you up for success in the future?
Like, what's your
There's
next?
only so many judges.
What's your next meet going to look like?
Like, I've judged RPS meets and whatnot, and I know if I go to an RPS meet, 9 times out of 10 I know who the judges are, and the last thing I would ever do, and I've gotten calls before, like butt off the bench on a side or something that maybe I don't agree with, but I ain't gonna go on Facebook and be like, no, the judging at this meet was horrible, I don't want to do that meet again. Because I know the judges, and this is going to put me in a bad light for next time. They're going to think I'm an asshole.
Listen,
It's just bad.
I got a call butt off the bench. Never done it in trading. Never done it in any of my lists before. I got the call. I'm pissed about it still. I didn't say anything to nobody. Except right now.
I, of course, should be frustrated, but last thing you got to do is make a huge post about it and how the judging sucks at the meet.
Yep.
That's just not good. It's not smart.
Yep.
But, I mean, this wouldn't have been a problem, I guess, back in the day. You just express your concerns there and you'd leave. There would be... I don't know, is it worse to... it's almost worse, I feel like, to bring it up on social media rather than talk to someone to their face there. If you had a problem with the judge and you talk to their face, I think that's acceptable. You know, talk about why you got the call. But going on social media after and bashing them there, I don't think that's... I think that's worse off.
Yeah, so you're going behind the judge's back.
Yeah.
The judge can't defend himself. You know, and sometimes you're wrong. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real here. Sometimes that squat wasn't deep enough.
Yeah.
And you're just, you know,
There's a lot of
loser right there.
Weird gray area.
Yep.
That just is different nowadays, and I don't really like it because I'm an old school guy.
You're like the old school
So-
black and white cookie kind of guy.
If you look at my Facebook, guys, there's not much going on. I'll throw some links up to stuff, but I don't really post anymore.
If there's a platform that I post on less than Instagram, it would be Facebook.
Yeah, I mean Instagram, I'll get personal posts up every now and then, but not like I used to. I used to be heavy on expressing opinions and stuff, but not anymore.
We got one from James Watts in 2009. I've seen a guy get thrown out of a meet because of arguing with the officials.
Oh, I think we've all seen that.
Yep,
We've all seen that one.
Just
It
take the
would
bad
be
call.
interesting, though. I thought he was going to go here where he said something bad on social media and got thrown out of a meet or something. That would be an interesting take. Because it's is that real life? It's just digital world.
Yeah, right?
So I don't I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I thought he was gonna say. I think we've all seen dudes get thrown out of meets. That happens a lot. maybe not as much where you guys are from. I don't know. But we get some real hotheads. New York. People like to express their opinions.
Yep.
So that happens more often than I'd like to see. I don't know why people can't just chill out. It's just a meet. But you get the calls sometimes. You don't get the calls sometimes. It is what it is.
Also bringing up social media, I feel like if you're using it and you're just watching all these great lifters and everything, you're comparing yourself to a ceiling that you can't reach. As much as I get hyped watching Ray Williams squat 1100, I can't squat 1100. I can't squat half that.
Yeah.
And so some people if they have they compare themselves way too often. It's anxiety. It's they get depressed.
That's interesting too. I could definitely see how that can occur. Because if you're starting out and you're seeing how everyone's ahead of you, that can be real depressing.
Yep.
And we've already talked about before how patience is a real long-lost trait in lifting and how it's all a long game. It's very hard for people to see 5 years in the future, which you need to do. Because you can't get to that level in a year. It's not going to happen.
And social media is the highlight reel.
So it either drives your opinion of everything else, and it's very hard to have patience when you're seeing everyone's lifts on Instagram like that. I can understand that one. I guess I don't know. I haven't been following top level guys as much until recent years, just because I wasn't very active, I guess, on social media. But now that I've progressed a little bit more. Everyone, I'm kind of in a topper tier. There's a lot of people that bench more than me. Don't get me wrong, but it's not totally blowing out the water. It's not like I'm starting at 400 again and I'm seeing everyone doing 7 something. Because that used to bother me too, and I'm trying to relate to that feeling. That would bother me too. I'd be like, shit, this guy's doing 760. How the hell am I gonna ever keep up with that? But it's tough, guys, and you gotta just put the years in, and you'll get there too. But that's difficult. Competition. How does it affect competition? I know when I was training for the Army, I would watch relentlessly everyone else I was competing against, and I'd see all the lifts, and then I'd go in. I'd be like, shit, I gotta freaking break this number, and I felt like whatever they put up on the squat, I needed to be pretty damn close. I knew how far away I was in each lift, and it would kind of sway my training. I'd almost want to hit a different number because of what they did. And I remember I was hitting around 590. So I was competing against Gary at Arnold in 2017, or was. He ended up competing in 198. But I remember, I'm sure we were both looking at each other's videos, and I had him on the bench. I didn't have him on the other lifts. We were close, but I didn't have him on the other lifts. I had him on the bench by a good amount. And I remember I was talking about it coming into the gym. I was like, shit. And everyone was like, what's going on? And I was like, Gary hit 600 one board. And then I was like, oh shit, I can't compete with that now. Because that was where I caught up on all the points. But in the past, you wouldn't have that. So it does swing competition a little bit. You can actually watch who you're competing against. And I'm sure everyone, because we had a good amount of people from the gym that you're competing in Arnie, everyone looks up each other on social media. Look up the name first on the roster, see what weight class. Then you look them out on Instagram, and then you're starting to eye and look at all their lifts and see what they're doing.
Yep, in the past, the only way you saw another lifter is if you trained with them.
Yeah, that's the only time. Now it's very different. You're seeing your competitors all the time. So definitely changed things in that respect. But it's interesting how it influenced competition as well. Community aspect, I wanted to touch on how it brings lifters together, because that's a positive impact, I think, on Instagram, making friends and all that. Before, I make a lot of friends at a meet, in the back. I've talked to them all. Now I'll start kind of following people from the meets and elsewhere, and then it just kind of brings everyone together. I remember Twitter especially. Not too long ago, I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago, I was pretty more active on Twitter, and that's when I was really getting tight communication with people. You're getting a little friend group going on Twitter. That was a lot of fun. I really like Twitter. You have any experience with Twitter?
Not so much. I'm getting used to it. I'm going to post some more, but...
Yeah, I used to love Twitter.
I'm a bigger fan of Instagram.
Comment down below if you love Twitter. I really love Twitter. I think it's kind of falling off the map nowadays. This Instagram's booming, adding all these features. I don't even know what Twitter added. I mean, it's really not that different.
See, I'm a serial gym hopper, so I used to go to a new commercial gym every year, every 6 months or anything. And before Instagram, I would lose all the friends that I made there unless I went back to that gym. I wouldn't see them anymore. Mm-hmm. But now, I still comment. I still talk to them through Instagram.
Yeah, that's true too. When you leave a place, now you're still following what they're doing. So
yep.
It's not like they're long lost friends anymore.
Yeah, it's not like you meet up a year later and it's like, oh, what have you been doing all year?
Now you know each other's lifts. I think it makes in-person communication. You kind of already know what they're doing, but you ask anyway. You ever get that? Like, how's training going?
Yeah.
I saw you failed that lift the other week.
You put failures on the gram? I don't know anyone who does that.
Yeah, I at a meet usually I'll put up every lift. Do you ever post a fail?
I don't usually have videos of failures. It's weird.
Well, I guess when you video, you
when I video, I just get it. So I should probably, video some more lifts.
I don't usually post it. Not that I shy away from it, because I learn a lot from those. But I think I just watch them relentlessly to myself and get pissed, and then come back and hit it, and then post the good one.
You see, I think my only failures I have on video are my deadlift failures. And not
much happens.
Yeah, do you want to see a bar not move off the ground?
It's just you get all hyped and then nothing happens.
Yep.
I think good failures, squat failures, those are fun.
Oh, those are great.
Those are fun. I always love failing a squat.
You either watch a bar dump if you're at a gym, or someone helped you up.
Yeah, it was training 2017 Arnold full power 700. First time I took that for a ride. No bands, nothing. I remember coming down with it, and I had it, and then you get the shakes because my core was weak at the time. I really trained that. I just start convulsing like this if you're watching the video, and then my hips kind of fell out of position, and then that bar just went on me. And then the one with Louie. not too long ago. That was
a good
great.
one.
He actually posted that.
Yep.
A lot of people's chagrin probably, but he posted that up. That was a great fail. He got flung forward. And the funny thing is, right before that, I was like, Louis, man, maybe we should move this bench. Or he said something about the bench.
I moved the bench.
You moved the bench?
I saved
Someone
the
moved the
guy's
bench.
life. Yep.
He was going to go head first, face plant, right? He shot like a rocket. He was going to go right into that bench. But we moved the bench. It was a big attempt. And I think the whole process was bad. Like, it got unracked too early. And it moved
I think it was
around.
like 800 at the top. I don't know if it was chains or not, but...
And then I remember in the bottom, he kind of ran out of steam. And then the other person on the other side wasn't really grabbing the weight. I grabbed my side the best I can. It's a lot of weight. And I'm not the greatest deadlifter in the world, you know what I mean? So he started going down, and then he's down there forever. We're trying to hold the weight. It's not coming up. So I'm just like, Louis, man, you got to bail. And then you got to go down. And then he lunged forward. That weight was coming down on him, and he just lunged forward. That was a good squat fail, though. He was okay, so I could say that. I've seen some bad deadlift fails. People rip their bicep out.
Yeah.
I don't think that got posted. That would have been a great vid, though. Everyone loves a good bicep tear.
Speaking of gym fails, when Louis broke the bench at a meet, that's a good fail.
Oh, that one went semi-viral. That was great. It was shared by a lot of places. Yeah, I remember that. We were in the meet. I'm so glad you had the camera rolling on that. That's why you just got... Sometimes guys got to just keep the camera rolling.
Yep.
You capture all the good stuff. You had the camera rolling, and I remember I was judging, and we had to pull the bench out because the guy lifting, he needed it to be all situated perfect.
Had to be straight.
So we had to pull the bench out, and Louis comes over, and he aggressively tug it to the side, and the pad just rips right off the bench, and I hear the wood crack.
And Louis looks at you, and
he throws it, yeah.
Oh shit, Lou.
I just go, I'm smiling and I'm laughing because I'm just like, oh my goodness, how does this happen? And I'm just like, oh shit, Lou. And then that was a great, because Lou's face, he's just so scared and stricken with fear. He's looking, he rips the thing, he's just staring, he's like, oh shit. He's like looking at John, he's got his hands, he's like, how do I have this power? And then... And then I oh shit, Lou, and I'm just laughing. And then we had to get that new bench in there. That was great. That was great. Can we throw that can you throw that in this podcast?
It's already, they already saw it. People on YouTube already saw it because they did it already.
Oh, all right. Let's get this in. We got so much good videos. We got to get in here.
So I don't think these guys post their fails because for James Watson, first time he got under 700 for a riding gear, he rolled his right ankle at the bottom. And fell right on his face.
Oh, man.
Didn't feel like posting that
face.
one. On the face.
Whew. That's a rough one.
As long as you're all right.
Safety straps catching it or what? Jeez.
As long as he's all right, you know.
Yeah. It'd be bad if you fell backwards. I can only imagine that. Because then you're running the risk of the mono tipping over. That's got to be...
Running the risk of hitting your head on the bar.
You ever see a mono tip over? Scary shit. You gotta like jump the beam and stuff.
I've seen vids. It
comes right at you.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, anytime you fall backwards, that's gotta be a bad day. Imagine if you didn't have straps though. I would never attempt. I used to train for the Army. I was gung ho about that for a long time. That was a big goal of mine. So I was like, if there's like one person in the gym, just pull my mono and get out of the way. And after that, after my goal switched a little bit to more of a bench focus, I was kind of like, all right, we got one guy today. I think we're done. So I guess it depends how gung-ho you are about your goals, too.
He had safety straps. So
safety straps, yeah. Well, at least you got those.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine squatting without those. That's really letting Jesus take the wheel there. And you got to have good side spots.
You got to have good side spots.
Last meet... So, you know, Brian, intern Brian there, he was at the meet. His buddy Joe was there. And Joe's an awesome dude and everything, but I don't think he's been exposed to the powerlifting scene before. I gave him some camo shirts, helped me out at the booth, it was great. But I was like, Brian, make sure your buddy knows how to spot now. Because, you know, with the multiply dudes, you got to be on that.
Yep.
Shit happens quick. And I remember, because he said, Dave said it was only going to be for the first 3 flights. So I'm thinking in my head, all right, so I'm sure you can handle that. You know what I mean? But once that fourth flight comes around, all those big dudes are coming up, multiply, you got to be on top of that weight. Because you're not going to be able to lift it like this. You can't stand far away and just cup the ends. You have to be under that weight, scooped, ready to go. So you can get your body into it, kind of squatted up. It's a lot of weight. So the multiply people come around, and then they start dumping some weights, because of course they're going to make a lot of misses. And I don't think he was prepared. It didn't really go good. I think he was trying to cup it. He was standing away. Probably shocked him a little bit. And things landed on people's chests. Other people, judges are running to scoop the thing. And then I'm just kind of holding my head. I'm like, oh, shit, he's got the shirt on. So it wasn't a great look. But Joe was a cool dude, and I appreciated his help. But, yeah, you got to know what you're doing with the spotting. That's real key. You got to be able to educate your spotters. We got anything coming in?
After that, his failed 700, he had 705 in the meet.
That's it. Come back, hit it strong.
Come back, hit it strong.
I did. I had to do it the next week. 2 weeks later, came back. It tells you what the problem is, though. You know what I mean? I started getting shakes in the bottom. Started doing a lot of work.
A lot of core training.
Core, hips. After nailing that, that's the ticket I needed. And come back, hit 730. So I guess, too, I want to touch on how everyone now is a world champ. It's crazy. I go on Instagram, I look at the bios, I see everyone's bios, and there's so many world champs, I didn't even know there's that many divisions. A lot of world champions out there. It's real impressive. Times have changed. But too many world champs, and I think that's a downside as well.
Every federation has their state record, and then their country record or county record. It gets real specific.
You know, I don't want to discourage people from feeling good about that, but at some point, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm in a different mindset than others, but that's not a world record. You know, and it confuses the shit out of me.
I feel like world records should be like top all time. I feel like
top all time stuff.
You got to reserve that. Otherwise, it should be like federation record or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a place too where I was pumped to get like Fed records, because that's all I had to look forward to, because I wasn't hitting any world records or nothing. So it was really cool to set that record. And I remember I'd ordered the certificates, more so like my first 500 bench, nothing special, but I ordered a certificate, so I had a memento of it. It was a really cool RPS certificate. I still have it. You know, it was a little Fed record thing, state record. I was proud of it. I didn't really go and post it, though. It's not something like I posted, oh, I got a bench record, champ. But I don't want to discourage those people, but it confuses the shit out of me, just to let everyone know. You don't know who's a world record anymore. Except for Larry Wheels. He just has them all.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry.
Actually, Stan Efferding's latest Rhino rant, he's world's strongest bodybuilder.
Yes.
But this time he put in until Larry Wheels gets his pro card.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just out there dominating everyone. Talk about social media. That dude's got... I remember when Larry, when we first saw him coming to the gym, I remember I can't even remember how many followers he had. I mean, it must have been like 3,000, if that. It couldn't even have been much. He was just some dude with a lot of hair, and he lifted a decent amount of weight. No one knew anything. He got picked up by Animal. He got sponsored by Animal for a good amount of time. They made some videos on him. People started picking up on who he was. He started hitting some big totals at meets. He had that real big breakout meet, like Reebok Record Breakers or something, where he actually took a world record for the first time, or for a split second, until he got beat. And then he kind of went on from there. But now he's up to, like, you look at it, he's approaching 400,000, I think, followers, which is really nuts. I'm sure he's got enough sponsorships to take care of everything he needs. So I think that dude now, he's sitting back lifting weights.
Yep.
That's the life. I think he's got people cooking for him. You get the barbell butcher there, whatever, sending him his meals. But it's crazy. Back in the day, even if you were good, you wouldn't get that kind of exposure, and you wouldn't have that kind of life from lifting. Nowadays, it's possible. You know, if you have a big enough following, sky's the limit to what you can do, really. Because now you have all these people, following you. You're getting sponsors, and and they're sending a lot your way, so you're taking care of them, building up your followers.
Yep.
It's real interesting to see everyone doing everything they can to build up followers so they can become some kind of Instagram influencer and then just kind of live off that. And back in the day, too, you wouldn't have anyone just making a career off YouTube. Nowadays, it's possible. And it's possible for you. Don't give up your dreams. Keep posting videos. Jerry G, well, you got to do the thing there. Jerry G, he made a couple. He got a couple good viral YouTube videos. You put the ads on them. Then you're getting a good paycheck every month.
Yep.
That's all it takes to get a couple videos hitting 1 million views or something, and you don't know what's gonna blow up. I think I just watched something on Facebook the other day. I'm sure everyone's seen it now too. That's just how it works. That old dude with the basketball, it was like Sports Center Facebook or something.
Who ended his son's basketball
Is that his
career?
son? I don't even know. He dribbled around and then he put the ball down and faked it going over the back.
Yep, and then
the kid sold it and then
dropped it in.
Just dropped it in. I'm sure everyone's seen that.
If not, they're gonna see it now.
Yeah, and if that was on YouTube and that dude got something million views and he AdSensed or whatever, he's probably making some bank. But you don't know. You're throwing a basketball around that goes viral. You don't know what's going viral. I thought Louis' video was gonna make it. Guess it didn't. But whatever. But yeah, that's the age of social media. So guys, you have any comments or anything? Favorite platform, whatever, you can put them below. We're gonna be rounding this baby out. What's your favorite platform?
Me, personally?
Yes, personally. And what is your favorite, why, and how do you use it for lifting?
See, I love me some YouTube. Okay. And obviously we're competing at two very different levels, so I'm not necessarily looking at my competition. I'm looking at gym motivation. It's just some of the days, it's no matter, you get burnt out sometimes. So you check out, I got a whole nice playlist going on, listen to some YouTube motivation, and I'm just ready. I'm raring to go. Okay, interesting. So YouTube's your favorite. YouTube's my favorite.
And how you use it for lifting is through motivational stuff.
Yep.
Interesting. Everyone's a little bit different. I'd say my favorite has got to be Instagram. Just easy use. I think you get the most interaction there for sure. I'm always trying to find the platform which people, talking about the business side thing, the platform where people can see my content the most, because all my content's really based on, giving and helping, and I want to promote people getting stronger at the bench and the technique and all that, so I'm always trying to find ways to, and I'll use every platform, but Instagram I think is a real ticket for me.
It's where can you reach the most amount of people?
Yeah.
It's when you pick between YouTube or you want to go to another video provider, you can't go to Vimeo. You're not going to have the same reach.
I mean, I'm all for putting everything everywhere, because there's always probably that one person that might see it somewhere else. But in terms of what's been real successful so far is Instagram, and I just love the features and all the features. I can see how it can help business and just promoting that message of technique on the bench and all that and getting stronger. The live, I love what we're doing right now, right? We're using the live to get interaction while we're doing this podcast, which I think is really cool. And I love having the conversations with everyone while we're podcasting. And the IGTV, I think that's a cool little feature, because you're probably on Instagram anyway, so if you see that, it's got some new stuff up there. You can see longer videos. The stories, I love that questions. That questions thing, you post up the questions and then you answer them there. I love that thing. It's all interaction. More I can interact with everyone, I can DM people, you know what I mean? So there's a lot you can do. And once your account grows, there's some other features that come along with that. You can swipe up to link to different things.
Things that unlock with growth, yep.
Yeah, so that's just stuff to look forward to as we keep growing and bringing people together in the message. And I really love that platform. I gotta say it's my favorite. How I use it for lifting, I more use it for business. I'm a business account right now with the live. If you follow me at Bench and Benny, that's my personal account. I'll put up some more private stuff there. I'm a real avid beer dude, so I just posted some good pickups I got last week. Had the Hercules double IPA last night. That was pretty good. And you can follow me on Untapped. It's the beer app there.
Oh yeah,
you haven't heard of
all
that.
The beers that you tried.
I like what I do. I pour my beer into my glass, and I'll smell it. Think I'm cool, getting the aroma, see what's in it, right? and then I'll sit down, I'll taste test it, I'll taste test it again, and then I'll go on my Untapped and I'll rank it. So if you want to toast me on Untapped, you can follow me. I think it's Benny B Bro, my old username.
Now, I have a question for you. What is the peak of your Instagram career? Like, what was that one moment where you're just like, wow, I made it on Instagram?
Well, I haven't made it anywhere, so what do you mean by that?
All right, so a couple of years back, Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I go to the parade, I get some pictures. Mm-hmm. And then I have one of my favorite pictures. It's of Martellus Bennett, one of the former tight ends of the New England Patriots.
Okay.
So I take a picture of him, I edit it. I'm real hyped about it because the picture is sick. Post it on Instagram, tag Marty B, and Marty B likes it.
Okay.
That was just like the moment that I did it.
I just said that's a big moment for you.
It's
The
a big
actual
moment.
player.
Actual player.
Liked your photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
That
awesome.
was sweet.
I guess for me, it would be I probably posted something up. This happened on more than one occasion. People I look up to in the benching game, Tiny Meeker, Vinny DiZenzo. I think having communications with them on there, whether they simply say it looks good or Tiny says something. I think I tried to ask him a question once. He sent me like a heart. I don't know what the hell that means, but it's cool because those are guys that I look up to in the game, whether they realize it or not. Just like I always encourage reaching out to other people because you don't know who is really inspired by you, and a simple looks good or something like that could mean a lot to someone. Like it meant a lot to me. Hearing it from those guys. So I think that's really cool whenever someone that you look up to, like, we're both big Pats fans, getting that kind of comment, it feels really awesome.
It's great, yep.
So yeah, I guess, that's what I guess I made it.
That's the peak.
I guess, that's it.
Peak so far.
Yep. More to come. But I guess Instagram for me, YouTube for you.
Yep.
I used to love Twitter, so maybe I'll get more into that again. But, and I love the podcast. If you call that a social media channel, I've been enjoying just doing the audio stuff and letting people listen to that. Because I'll have my Podcast Addict app on, and I'll listen to stuff while I'm driving, and I'm sure everyone does the same. And just being able to be played in someone's car, I think is really awesome that someone would listen to us. And I just see the viewers or the listeners grow on a monthly basis, and I just think that's really cool. So I enjoy doing that too. So yeah, that's
and hopefully you enjoy listening to us. Hopefully you learn some things, help you bench press, help your lifts in general.
Yeah, whether I like to have the entertainment value, but more importantly too, I want you to be able to take away something. Even if it's just stuff we talk about today. I definitely took away some things myself when we start talking about it. Like I think remember we did the Habits podcast too, and there was some stuff that I learned in there that I was amped up to try out and whatnot. So it's always something we can pick out. Is that one piece of content. I always tell them, and it's always worth it. Seminars, books, podcasts, whatever. If you get that one little piece, that might be all you need.
Yep.
So everything's always worth listening to. I don't think there's never really a book that I read that I can't take away. Something. Because now I'm writing this bench press book. And I'm trying to get that out for the new year. I bought some books on Amazon on the bench press just to see what's out there. I feel like ours is going to be the best thing that you read. I'm not just saying that. I've seen what's out there. Josh Bryant's got a good bench press book, but some of those it's nothing like what you're going to get with our book. And I bought this book from this dude, and it's got to be like 10 pages. I read the thing like bang bang, and I was like, what the hell is this? There was nothing in there.
Oh.
I was like, this has got to be the biggest waste of my time. But I learned now too how he kind of went about packaging it, I guess, and getting it out there, and so that it's junk, and I'm going to crush it.
Even if you didn't learn from the content, you learned how he marketed it.
Yes. That's the important thing. I still got something out of it. Paid $10 for the book. Took me like 2 seconds to read, but it's still something I learned, and it gives me confidence because I know ours is going to be that much more. It's going to give back so much more than that will. So I gained something. All right, guys. That is the social media podcast. BenchCast. Coach Ben here. And you're able to find us at Big Benchas on YouTube, Big Benchas. And, on the iTunes, you listen to it now. If you could give a 5-star review, guys, means a lot to us. Drop it in the comments how you like the podcast. Even if you have some positive criticism, thinks we can take this in a new direction and touch on some topics. I'd love to hear from you. But anytime you review and do all that, it really helps our ratings go up and more people find the podcast, that whole deal. So, again, if you take the time, quick minute, just leave that review. Really, really appreciated, and that'd be awesome.
Yep, and you can find me on Instagram at SmallArmLegStrong, on Twitter at BigQuadTinyArm.
And I think he made a post.
I actually made a post. I'm back from the dead.
You can consume his content. All right, guys. You have been listening to BenchCast.